Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Eric for Ikigai. Just letting everyone know that we have a Twitch station, Ikigai. If you would like to subscribe, follow our channel, that'd be awesome. Also, we have a YouTube station, Ikigai underscore way, on YouTube, and we put up our reviews there. I'm going to put up this one as well. Also, if you have the chance, we're in this channel is in full support of Extra Life. Is a charitable organization dedicated to taking care of sick kids during their hospital stays. Feel free to look us up on under Team Rabbit Haberdashery on extralife.org. That'd be great. All right. For those that are joining us now, this is Eric, and I'm going to be reviewing this game as well as just playing through and see how that goes. Um, uh, this has been I've been looking forward to this game for a while. I heard about this game coming out probably a year ago, maybe even longer than that. And I was like, ooh, premise. I love decision making. I'm thinking like Mass Effect kind of decision making. A friend of mine, Chris, said, "Oh, it sounds like Telltale." Like another great example of decisions matter, and Star Trek. What a great combo! I'm looking forward to this being done very well. I'm like, why haven't we thought of this sooner? So looking forward to this. Um, uh, and I'm gonna see how it goes. Yeah, big fan. And then it just disappeared off my radar. I was like, oh, they'll take time, and it'll be done when it's done. It's done. And then yesterday I saw like it's being released tomorrow. I was gonna stay up late and actually download and stream it, but it didn't. After midnight, it didn't kick over, so I downloaded it today. So now it's time to stream it. I'm looking forward to it. I have high hopes for this. Um, I figured I'd put on my Lieutenant Commander Nakamura virtual stream uh, face over there in the corner, so that's synced up to my camera. Um, because over on the Rabbit Haberdashery channel, I play the character of Lieutenant Commander Nakamura, so I already have this cosplay going on. I figured just get into the whole Star Trek mood. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, um, but before I get started, uh, let's see if I can switch over this real quick. Sorry, some behind the scenes thing here. I'm going to switch over and then I'll keep an eye on things, settings, and all that, and we'll just give it a playthrough and see how it goes. Empty slots. I'm going to pick this empty slot. That's the lucky one. I guess begin. Okay. So dramatic labs adventure, relationship, and events you're about to experience will be shaped by the choices you make. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome. Looks beautiful already. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. All right, little asteroid smashing.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
I'm guessing that's us. We're gonna be the first to answer. Oh,
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
it's legit advice. He likes that. By the way, I said right trigger. I'm playing with mouse and keyboard. I'm hoping that's the right.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
I'm gonna be your boss's boss's boss. That's cool.
It won't be easy for Chara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Which one's ours? What does that say with that? Is it Sentinel? Centennial? Beautiful visuals. Beautiful. Stage stage. Oh, we got a title. Isn't that nice? Alright, I gotta be ready, just in case someone drops a data pad. Oh, okay. Use the WASD to move. I am moving. Starbase 128.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
I want to say there's history with Starbase 128. Isn't that near the Romulan space? I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Oh man, I want to look that up now. Alright, I'll look it up later. The first thing I see, I already want to look up to get more. This is going to be great.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Ah, we'll let him have
Really?
it.
That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
I'll let him have the day, Ego. By the way, completely like someone from the academy, like, I graduated blah 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 class. You're like,
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test.
yeah.
You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Alright. Find Commander Ermot. This is me just gonna look at every little... I'm inspecting. Leave me be, I'm inspecting.
Good day, Commander.
Good day. Storm report. Space weather. Okay. The walking's a little, I mean, you don't need to run through it, but man. I'm walking like I'm in a ceremony.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
A Bolin.
You're going to the Resolute too?
Yeah, not the ship I was hoping for.
Why's that?
Well, you haven't heard? Some kind of accident. Their warp core overloaded.
Oh, there's a Bolian over there.
That's a big deal.
They spent 6 months fixing it up.
Was it the captain's fault?
That's the rumor, yeah.
Alright, sorry, Captain. Scuttlebutt blaming the captain. Okay. Ooh, let's talk to this guy. Even though I see the Bolian, we're just gonna talk to people. Lost crewmen.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Look here.
And
The
fairness,
Resolute is
don't
leaving
miss
from
ship's
this
movement.
dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
You're welcome, Ensign Redshirt. Red collar. I guess I'm a red collar too, so. I'm making friends. Becoming one with the crew. Let's talk to this person here. Starfleet officer. Well, they're all
Excuse me.
Starfleet officers.
Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is.
Hey, there's an
Thank you.
Orion there.
Happy
too.
to help, Commander.
Okay, kind of lackluster.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Okay. Feels very random. Replicated meal.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Okay, I don't know if that type of thing's add value.
Excuse me.
Whoa, I want to know what race that one is. That's fuchsia? That's cool.
You hear the Resolute's getting a new first officer?
Someone from the crew got promoted?
No, get this. They're from a different ship.
Oof. Wonder how the crew feel about that.
It makes them look desperate. Is their crew that bad?
Yeah, not a good look.
Man, we have a bad rep. Let's talk. Commander Ermont.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander?
Oh, it's a private conversation. In a bar.
I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
Space turbulence. It can't
We're
be that bad.
grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
Ah, she's a beautiful ship. But every ship you're stationed on is a beautiful ship.
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own.
I like
And
they
she doesn't
picked the
look so
science
bad,
vessel.
considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Damn.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
To have lost so many lives. That's a high price to pay.
Too high by any estimation. But there's nothing that can be done about it now except get back to work. And make sure it never happens again. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time.
Oh.
And I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region.
Oh, good. They let you pause it for a second to kind of... Jara made a good first impression with Commander Ermot. Oh, cool. Coming off as inquisitive and appreciative while showing empathy for what the crew result has suffered. That's cool. All right. Ensign Calloway is grateful for Jara's helpful guidance when he was nervous on the shuttle flight. And other people. Oh, do we get to play other people? All right. So far, so good. I love the choices. Love the backstory. Animation a little stiff, but you know it could be Starfleet stiff. So we'll go with it. Sorry, while I'm here, I'm gonna look at the menu options. Tricur. Okay, so clearly designed with Xbox in mind. Got it. Your crew. All right. And let's continue. Oh, hey. Oh, man. Oh, continue. Continue. I didn't mean to back out like that. No. It didn't save any of that? Ah! Okay. I just did escape twice. I didn't pick the save slot. That was a little harsh.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission.
Wow, literally, I hit escape twice, and I gotta go
And
through
the crew isn't letting
this
this
part. Okay.
unprecedented ion storm slow them down.
Enjoy the second run through, guys.
They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos,
At least it's a beautiful
in this
intro.
case,
Get to see it
change
twice.
is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Oh, now they switched to the mouse thing. I was looking for right trigger last time. I was like, what the hell?
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
I hope the choices are meaningful. I feel like that was the core reason you designed the game. So
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
It's a little weird that they made the ensign that's the jittery one also the one that's the cocky one. Like, if I'm catching that correctly. And I wish it slowed down the animation a little bit so I could read the name on the other ships, but. Check in at security. Alright. We're at Starbase 128. Which I was looking
A
up.
starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Well, since I got a second here, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Aha. Alright, I guess there isn't as much information. It's just kind of a blank starbase. That's surprising. I feel like I have to do more research, but I'll continue on. I thought there was more backstory with 128.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintar's 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Really? That's quite impressive.
It is kind of impressive, doing top 20.
It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Starbase is run by ensigns.
Good day, Commander.
Good day.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
I got overhear the conversation. No? Alright, let's tell about new guy.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Huh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Cool, cool.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
I feel like that's the most mundane information possible.
Excuse me,
but
have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
he's the only blue guy in the room.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Still want to know who the future red person is.
Excuse me.
Well, I can't
You
hear
hear
the...
the Resolute's getting a new first officer?
Someone from the crew got promoted?
No, get this. From a different ship.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky. The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
To have lost so many lives. That's a high price to pay.
Too high by any estimation. But there's nothing that can be done about it now except get back to work. And make sure it never happens again. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time. And I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Workups. No, I was like 20 seconds away from a save point. That's awesome. Oh, kind of a cheap bug, but here I am. Uh-oh. I'm guessing that big corrosive thing shouldn't be there.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Ah, plasma. Find the plasma torch. I feel like... Hyper spanner. Ah, the hyper spanner. Side mouse. Come on now. Yeah, they definitely built this with a controller in mind. Not feeling the mouse and keyboard love.
That... is that.
The lower decks.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
You'd think Trills would
Nothing
have
to it, Neely.
an advantage.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
I want to look at things. I didn't mean to pick it up. Oh, I guess I'm helping out.
Come on!
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than zero G. You're welcome.
Oh, I guess I was helping them out. Wait. I know. Sorry, I was just being a helpful crew member. What's going on there? I have no idea. We're just gonna keep moving.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degausing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
Nice. Who are we, warrant officers? What's the pip that we got on our neck? That seems different.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
So you're saying we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could. You can interpret as you see fit.
I will take the
So, I
first.
don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa. Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement.
Ain't that the truth,
for
folks?
sure.
They seem alright. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Yeah, we're going full plate.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
Nice.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
That in no way will go wrong.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
Oh, that's like our toolkit that's like magnetized on the back. That's
See
cool.
you on the other side.
All right.
Activating magnetic souls.
All right. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna walk off the side. Oh, we're doing this. Woohoo!
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Nice. Oh, we're switching characters, are we? Nice, nice touch. All hands. Oh, okay.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home.
So I'm
and help
insulin
yourself
dependent.
to whatever you like from the replicator.
He's got just like a pile of amethyst. He likes amethyst, apparently.
I can't believe he keeps this around. Don't even know where mine is.
Right? Some people like to keep that stuff around. That's okay. What's the deal with the amethyst? Come on. Oh.
The first mineral Captain Solano ever discovered.
Oh.
Always was the nostalgic type.
Okay. Hybrid computer access retrieval system. That's cool. It's a globe.
Can't wait to plot a course myself.
Alright. What's the statue about? Nothing? Nothing? Okay. Look at that stuff. Choo-choo train. Choo-choo.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the Academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained. Probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility.
Yep.
It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible.
This is also true.
And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission.
Classic.
Anything short of that
Classic
just
conversation.
won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here.
Oh, Lord.
We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggested several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. Let me introduce you to the crew.
Sure, why not? Oh, interesting bridge we got going on here. Trying some different things. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Sit in the captain's chair when ready.
Operations. Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Mental monologue. The lift. Where's the plaque? There's always a plaque.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Guess both jobs are the helm. You don't have a plaque? Come on, guys. You gotta put a plaque in there. What's a bridge without a plaque? Who built this thing?
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
He's just misunderstood. He likes doing sciencey stuff. It's okay. Cut him some slack.
Tactical station. Hopefully a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready.
That looks very unergonomic for her height. I'm just saying. She needs like a step stool or something.
Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
Cool. Let's see. Master systems.
So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility.
Yep, no pressure. We're not going to talk about engineering. Engineering doesn't get a little inner monologue? Ah, man. No plaque. No inner monologue. Alright, I'll sit in the chair now. It's gotta be the one with the arms.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field.
Oh, I thought
now.
I thought it was gonna be one of those.
Maintenance mode.
I thought it was gonna be one of those choices. Condition blue. I thought we were gonna get one of those.
Getting worse.
Screw the away team or
Looks like they turned off the
crew.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
A.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Now, what are you complaining about? We got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
That's legit. It's a good answer.
Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Oh, mini game time. Okay.
Beginning recalibration.
Okay. 2 nodes. Turn. Chase the warning thing. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, okay, now I'm figuring it out. Come on.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Kaboom!
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive.
Wow.
Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge.
Oh.
I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
He's the...
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
My mood ring.
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Captain Solano's familiar with my condition. I'm sure it factored into his decision. So I'd have to say it's not a problem.
But we should probably have a contingency plan just in case.
Sure, why not?
Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland,
Fair.
your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet.
He wanted his
His
job.
record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends.
I can never fill shoes.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano
that's the
is
right
on the
answer.
starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
Red lights. There are red lights.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
So we need to see the energy wave.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormality.
Red alert.
Aye.
You know it's a bad day when you're in Starbase.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
Alright.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Commander Westbrook, use the deflector dish.
Already working on it. Optimal timing displayed. It's going to be tight.
Good. Send the pulse on my command. Now.
We got it! This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
It can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
That's a haul. Okay.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
It's a mini game. Ah, I'm moving isolinear chips. Love it. It's not Star Trek unless I'm moving isolinear chips.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but
I got you. I got you. Use your phaser to clear a path. Alright, so.
Are you alright?
I guess I shouldn't have shot that. Alright.
Suit took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%. We're almost to the regulator.
So apparently. Oh, okay. So they just.
Carter!
That hurt.
Do not hit it again.
Alright, I'll try not to. Man, those things just come at you.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Got it, got it.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can...
Ooh, that's gonna be hard.
coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
Makes sense.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
All right, Starbase, we're on it.
Acknowledged.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we
Sorry,
have a
I'm taking a
situation.
while.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Orders there is.
Yes, sir. Disengaging the clamps.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there.
The captain made himself quite clear.
He did.
Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
We're going to blow the bolts. Starbase, stand by. We'll warn our crew to take cover.
Get it done, Rydek.
Follow
Repair
orders.
crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, you have more micro debris incoming. Find cover.
Cover? Neely! Get under the access panel. It's armored with duranium.
It's a
But what
shield.
about you?
Carter, maybe we can both fit behind this. They've blown the other docking clamp. Hurry!
Crap.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get. Put some muscle into it, buddy. Come on, come on. Hey, I'm pushing on it. Okay. Damage, damage.
Look out!
Damn it. Yeah, I
got you.
I feel that she's not coming back.
Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Etzelar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now.
God damn it.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Hey, you're with me. Yeah, let's get the hell back into the ship. Wait, probably better?
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there!
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
I'm a main character. No, I am. I'm a main character. I'm a main character. I'm a main character. And I'm a vegetable.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Price of duty.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet.
But wait.
Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
The Resolute suffered damage from the exploding bolts, but we've successfully moored to the station. The ship is secure. Our systems are coming back online, but we have a fair amount of repairs before we're ready to go.
Put a halt on the roll-off of Starbase engineering staff. We have a schedule to keep. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
I followed your orders. You better not chew me out, buddy. Yeah, stressful day. Ship.
What a debacle.
What do you mean?
I was
debacle?
caught with my pants down. Not even on my own ship when the wave hit.
Well,
I had to
yeah,
go running out of the Starbase commander's office just to... But you followed my order. I appreciate that. Hell, I'm relieved.
You're the captain of this ship. You give orders, and I'll execute them.
That's right. But you see my problem, don't you? They were all against me on that bridge. And they were ready to go against my orders. I'm not blind to it.
I don't speak for anyone else, but you know I'm in your corner. You're my captain, and I'll stand behind you.
Well, it takes more than the two of us to run this ship, unfortunately.
Oh, that's true. That's where I smooth things over. You're not a people person.
Oh. Drink?
Yes, yes. After today, yes.
Sure.
Of course, the CEO and EXO probably shouldn't be drinking while on watch after a disaster like that, but that's, you know, screw it.
Thank you.
Ah, bonding moments.
Your predecessor, Commander Sutherland, is missed. But for all the adoration of the crew, including the senior staff, I just couldn't rely on him. He would question, undermine me in front of the crew. I sometimes think they still hear his voice. That sort of thing has a way of lingering. And you can't argue with a ghost.
Captain, perhaps you and the crew would be better served if you look at this mission as a fresh start.
You can never really leave the past behind.
If we don't, you can never move forward.
Now, this won't be easy, but I'm glad I have you here with me.
Glad to be here, Captain.
And despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna finish it, yeah. It's been a rough day. And you know it's his private stash, so it's, you know, it's gotta be the good stuff, right? He doesn't...
Ready or not, here we go.
All I ask is a tall ship. Alright, see where we're at here.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
That's how they're supposed to disengage.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
I'm glad they changed the configuration up a little bit, so it's not like the Reliant, you know, Delta version. It's a little different. I mean, it still kind of is, but...
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Do it. Anyway.
Engage.
Do it. Yeah, of those choices, you gotta go and engage. Do it. Make way.
Simple, but effective.
Whoa. Careful.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look fine.
Oh, I thought it was the booze I drank. It's my insulin ring. Space insulin.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Oh, really? Oh, let me guess. The booze interrupted my insulin. Get my infusion. That's cool. They haven't actually
Well,
shown how
that was
infusion
quite a
goes.
scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. People's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. A major innovation. Something he can put his name on. The more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I think after what happened, Captain Solano's learned his lesson. And whatever ambition he once had is on hold for a while.
He may say that, but we'll see what happens. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard what happened on the bridge. You just followed Solano's orders despite having better options in front of you.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of deridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
She's lived her whole life with this. I feel like...
And my work here is done.
I think she gets it. It's like a type 1 diabetic being reminded if you don't get your insulin, you're gonna
Sorry,
die.
I didn't mean to be lurking outside of sickbay. I didn't want to intrude, so it felt more appropriate to wait out here. We were all worried about you. Or I should say I was.
Well, there you go.
I wasn't sure what was happening at first. But then I realized it was your condition.
I don't want anyone to worry about me. I'm gonna be just fine. This is part of who I am, but I've never let it define me.
I get that now. And I promise I'll try not to let being such a jerk define me either. You trusted my intuition earlier.
I'll be damned.
With the deflector pulse. I felt I should thank you for that.
Well, thank you for coming. Even though you didn't have to.
I wanted to.
Well, good. I'm winning at least one person over.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's the combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
Yeah, they've shagged. It's clear.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duval. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
We're gonna go with how do I look?
So, be honest. How bad do I look?
You look rugged.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Okay, how about heroic? Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now,
Go.
I had a chance to think about this while I was away, and I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you, instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse, leaving it unsaid.
You can tell me
It's
anything.
okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Ah, we're gonna go have feelings. We're romancing.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
You just had a near-death
So,
experience.
Do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Let's do it.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Aww. Hey, he had a near-death experience. Let him have the moment, Doc. It's a scar. Must be the scar. Chicks dig scars.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Whoa.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
A little spin in action there. There we go.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
Oops.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Am I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Ah, he's back at work already.
Come on, Diaz.
This ship can't run without you, Diaz.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Okay. Alright, we're stabilizing. Alright. Excelsior.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Use attracted to deflect the asteroids. Alright. What? Come on, man. Where'd that asteroid come from?
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for
Pull
the
them in
shuttle.
fast.
The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Shield the shuttlecraft from the asteroid. Got it.
Here Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
So we just sliced it with our own shields.
Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Yoink. Easy, easy.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock?
But it's not terra firma. Walk a little further.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Oh, okay. Let's apologize for the rough landing.
Apologies for the landing, Ambassador. I was operating the tractor beam, sir. I take responsibility.
It was not the smoothest transit, but you got us here safely. That is what matters. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
Crap.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
Oh, there was a petty officer
Ambassador
rank
Spock.
on the pit.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
It did say petty officer on the on-screen display earlier, but finally, petty officer's getting some respect. Provocation to this is the briefing room. That was the main soundbite they teased this game with.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details.
Good XO.
We got the basics from
Skipper out of the
Starfleet.
way.
2 formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Lydians have shared a mining operation there. The Lydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Lydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Lydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Lydian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not merely the absence of war. And as such, this conflict will surely come again.
Neither the Lydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Lydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Iridium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Ilidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Uh-oh.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, There are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Ryder could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Dramatic.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
Hey, he's happy to be here.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You don't want me.
You've put me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
Ready
the
to go?
Scar, man. Everyone respects
All
that
set.
scar.
Let's run the diagnostic.
I'm gonna hit the button that says diagnostic. Okay, that was fun. Begin diagnostic. Where could it be? I'm gonna go with, oh, there he goes.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation.
Nah. Girl talk.
I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Uh-oh.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once.
Uh-oh.
Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do.
Oh, that's a
I
pessimistic
like my
way.
friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Could be anything on here. Could be this. Could be this. Could be this way over here. No. Wait. What if I hit something else? No. Nope. 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 Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with this one. Warp field.
Warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Is it like a virus code that's being inserted here where it's like...
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the navigation array.
Your tricorder can analyze used to equip and holster your tricorder, glow, and scan glowers. Must be close. Okay, I can do that. Ooh, alright. Chase down the glowy thing. Chase down the glowy part. And scan is that switch. So I was wrong. It's not the ray.
Navigation array checks out, so it must be a coil.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Up. Hey, she asked me out. Just saying. Hey.
I'm not here.
Nice.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
Oh, we're gonna go full on.
I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
No, that's more accurate.
I gotta be precise with you, huh?
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
Oh, don't even bring up Parisi squares, man.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole Steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
They're so dead.
You don't want to miss your train.
Choo choo.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
We're
More
gonna
important things on my mind.
Come back safe.
Do me a favor. Come back safe.
Deal.
And we're not gonna go full on. We're on duty.
Be seeing you.
No. Hey, we're still in the green.
Etzelarda Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go.
All about work.
All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
Oh, alright, let's see. And we're moving. Oh, same thing.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1, 1.2, 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Seat of power.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Saltaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydek, First Officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
I think we're about to begin.
Feel the tensions.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
That may be true. But let's keep an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
I mean, I feel like that's fair. Like, there's always gonna be one guy in the room you're like, oof, I don't want him to represent humanity. You know. I'm sure every race has that guy. She was on. That's fine.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war!
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter?
Peace.
Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Oh, we're gonna go with the answer I picked.
Now then, one should know their place.
I feel like I know the voice
What
actors.
you might be somewhere else is not what you are here. Which is standing before a queen. And a queen deserves respect. A bow is not too much to ask. is Hotari Prime, heart of the Hotari system.
I am unfamiliar with your customs, Your Majesty.
We may not be a powerful civilization in your eyes, but we are prideful people. You are Kobliad. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Alidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Alidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
You may be right. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most.
No.
The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
As Ambassador Spock has said, we've come seeking a peaceful resolution to this conflict, and have no interest in your dilithium.
I'm not nearly as naive as you must think. The Federation has done business with the Alidians for decades, which makes me question your motives.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Alidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians?
Oh wow, I only get two choices?
Only be one or the other, not both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I suppose there is some sense to that.
Hey, I was forced to choose two.
I hope we meet again.
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
It's been a pleasure, Commander Rydek.
Well, apparently she likes me. Come on, dude.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Well, at least I ingratiated myself with the right team. That was my goal. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can... Alright, I'm a little afraid to get to the menu option because that's where I had a glitch last time. Is there a menu option? Menu? Okay. Project Acumen, well, when the Hearts Queen put her on the spot. Okay, so he was happy with that. Worried it seems Jara was willing to follow orders. So yeah, Lieutenant Borison's not excited. More worried when Jara seems she's disappointed. So yeah, the character really loved us the most. We're really just disappointing her. Never meet your heroes, folks. Never meet your heroes. Alright, see Spock. Admired deft diplomacy under pressure while being questioned by Hotari Queen. Oh, good. Commander Westbrook feels ashamed of his behavior and is impressed by Jara's resilience when he saw her outside his sick bay. So, okay, we're turning him around. That's always good. Commander, I was troubled when I see Jara willing to follow orders to Starbase. And he seems even more concerned that Jara is willing to follow the captain's orders. Commander respected Jara's confidence in the following Captain Solano's order, even though he had made his own conflicted feelings about putting the crew full risk. So he's kind of like, at the end of the day, I understand we're still Starfleet officers. So Joy the Lazy Kid would rather see her thinking independently and follow Campbell's every order. So Doc doesn't care for me as much, but she's kind of, you know. Chovak approves of Jara's decision to follow Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts. Doc Clamp, he's completely 100% hey, Starfleet officer. And Ensign Cal, got it. So I feel like we're doing pretty good. I had to let down Lieutenant Bedridson down, and the doctor's not thrilled with me. But the doctor's like, eh. And Commander Ermot's like, he gets it. He's not happy about it, but he gets it. We're kind of in the same boat. So let's see how Carter's doing. Carter ends up reminding how much he values her. Carter. You said even she doesn't owe anything for letting her go first on the hull. Yeah, we're good friends. So I feel like that's still there. Miranda loved Carter's charming personality when they said goodbye in the docking bay. Oh, that's cool. All right. And then Chovak approves of Carter's eagerness to work at Master's spot. So yeah, so Petty Officer Carter's just he's nailing it. Is his first name Diaz, or is it his first name? His first name's Carter. Okay, got it. Carter Diaz. All right, so we're doing well. Controls, mods, settings. So, what do I think of this game? I'm glad my friend Chris told me this is more like a Telltale game because I thought it was going to be more of a Mass Effect 2 game, and that was the wrong expectation to have. It is an interactive story. It's an interactive two-part episode to Star Trek television series. So the storyline's well polished. I like it. I like the choices. The graphics are very well done. I mean, the characters when they're moving a little stiff, but that's okay. I think they nailed most of it. Most of the choices actually are pretty good. I feel like I never only this most recent one where it was like you have to choose one or the other. I was having slick third-party answers to everything except that one. But at the end of the day, I think I fell into it the right way. So there's clearly replayability if I want to, like, you can go the Paragon or Renegade option, you can go the Starfleet option, or you can go the section, section, was it section 31, answer to, like, the militant answer, or the I'm going with the loyal but I care versus the I follow orders, not necessarily crew at all cost. Um, so I can see the value in a second playthrough. The video game portion of it where you're interacting with stuff outside of the quick time events, uh, you know, feel a little tacked on. I was kind of joking around when there's like, do diagnostic, it's the flashing green button. There's really nothing else to interact with, or even a timer where if you don't hit the button fast enough, something bad happens. I mean, there's things with timers on it, so it makes you feel a little bit engaged, but it's 70% uh, Star Trek TV and then 30% interaction with it. I mean, you do get to make choices, so you could see different outcomes, so that's fun. It's Star Trek Choose Your Own Adventure. What would I give it as a grade? If you like Star Trek as much as I do, I think more content like this is great. Um, I I give it like a 9 out of 10. If you like Star Trek, it's like a 9 out of 10. I think thing that could have improved is the video game, the little mini game things having more meaning outside of just like, or more ways to screw it up. So it's more feels more video gamey. Or they could have leaned more towards Mass Effect 2 and less like a Telltale game. Um, that would have been the 10 out of 10. But I think they somewhere along the line they realized what they wanted to do well. They wanted to tell a story. They were planning to tell a story, and there's only like 2 to 3 different versions of that story. If you're sticking to, I'm going to stick to this type of character, um, you haven't seen the payoff of what happens. I guess you're going to see unlocks or different more branchings of, I got Lieutenant Beardson's here who looks sad as heck, but everyone else seems okay. I do appreciate the facial expression. So, if you're not a Star Trek person, but you're a sci-fi person, you still enjoy it. If you're not a Star Trek or sci-fi person, this is, you wouldn't definitely get it. I think they priced it right. At first, I thought it was a deal. I do think they're priced right. This is not a $60 game. But they're not pricing it that way. So right now it's on Epic Games as well as Xbox and PS5. But Epic Games is doing a sale right now. I got like 10 bucks off because they're doing some type of discount, just like mega sale. So it just happened the timing was good or bad for the makers of this game. So I feel like Star Trek. I think 30. I paid like $29.99. Like that's not bad for this. It's got some replayability, but I can definitely see where you play through this twice, you'll be like, I'm good. I've seen most of it. Um, so there's going to be a cap. So it's no Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto 5 where you can just lose a couple hundred hours in it. I don't see that happening. I'm 2 hours in, probably about a third of to half the way through the storyline of one playthrough, but $30. So that's where I stand. Yeah, this is Eric, and I've enjoyed this playthrough. I will definitely play through more of this. I will stream more of this. If more people want to watch, cool. And if not, I was going to play it either way, so it's all good. But I will probably discontinue the stream for now, and we'll go from there. All right, so I will. Hopefully, it saves. That was a big thing too. That's probably the only bug, but it was kind of a glitch. You guys got to see an extra 10 minutes of the intro again because there's no real, even though there's a save thing, it just kind of once you empty out, it didn't save much of anything. So I'll probably have to replay that whole scene, I think, but we'll see. Um, Hopefully they fix that or at least make that a little more responsive to the saves. All right, well, I will catch you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.